question in this exercise, question 4 to 5. The altitude of a right angle triangle has been given as 7 centimeter less than its base. If the hypotenuse of the same right angle triangle has been given as 13 centimeter, we are supposed to find out the other two sides. So let's draw a quick diagram. This altitude is shorter and the base is longer. So the shorter side altitude, we will assume that as x, and longer side base, we will assume that x plus 7. Now, some people can assume this x and then this will become x minus 7, but we'll try to avoid negative signs as far as possible. So let's write that down. Altitude will be x, let's assume that, and the base will be x plus 7. Now we can apply Pythagoras theorem. The hypotenuse, which is the longer side, that will be square sum of squares of the remaining two sides. So x square, which is this one, and x plus 7, the whole bracket square, which is this one. If you add that, according to Pythagoras theorem, this will be the hypotenuse square. Now we know that a plus b, the whole bracket square, is a square plus twice of their product 2ab plus b square. So using that formula, we can expand x plus 7 the whole square, that will come out to be x square, twice of their product 7x, but twice, so 14x, and last term square, which is 7 square 49. 13 square, we also know that it's 169. So now let's simplify this. X square plus x square will become 2x square, and now we can transfer this 169 to this side, so that on the right hand side it will become 0. When we transfer this 169, it will become negative, and now we will come close to the quadratic equation ax square plus bx square plus c in that particular format. 49 minus 169, we are trying to subtract bigger number, so the final answer will be negative, and the numerical value will be the difference between these two numbers. So it will come out to be negative 120, because the difference between these two numbers is 120, but we subtracted bigger number, so that's why it will be negative. Now we can directly factorize this one, absolutely no problem, but we realize that there is 2 common in each term. So we'll get rid of that and try to make it as simple as possible. So divide this whole expression throughout by 2. 2x square will become x square, 14x becomes 7x, and negative 120 will become negative 60. Now this is ready for factorization. Let us concentrate on the last number, including the sign. That number is negative 60. We'll try to factorize that in such a way the combination of these two numbers will be the middle term. We can factorize this negative 60 as plus 12 and negative 5. Why we chose this particular numbers? Because 12 times negative 5 is negative 60, and 12 and negative 5 combined together, added together, positive 7x. So now we'll split the middle term 7x as 12x minus 5x according to these factors. From the first two factors, we'll take x common. So if you take x common from the first two factors, x will be outside the bracket, and what remains will be inside the bracket. That would be x plus 12. Similarly, from the next two terms, we will take negative 5 common, and we'll have the same x plus 12 in the bracket. X plus 12 factor is repeated, so we write that once, and whatever is left over, we'll combine that, collect that in the second bracket, x minus 5. Now, when the two products are multiplied equal to 0, that means either of them will be 0. So that means x plus 12, the first factor, can be 0, or x minus 5, second factor, can be 0. So based on that, we'll get an answer as x equal to negative 12 or x equal to 5. But remember, what is x? We have assumed the x to be altitude, which is basically a length, and length itself cannot be negative. So we have to discard, neglect this particular negative answer and concentrate only on the positive answer. So the altitude of the triangle will be x, which is 5, and the base, which is longer than the altitude by 7, so that would be 12 centimeter. So this will be your final answer.